Hi, I'm Trish. This is my 5th go at making this video. I'll try to keep it fresh. At least I've had lots of rehearsals. I tried to make it originally on my new phone, but the audio on the video is so utter shit I couldn't use it. And then I accidentally deleted one, and then 2 of them it wouldn't work in my editing software, and I don't even know what's happened to them all. So this is it feels like the millionth time I'm making this. It is about the post-op liquid and mushy stages. So, those stages, they're really, really important to go through them for however long your surgeon tells you. Some surgeons say 1 week for each, some surgeons say 2 weeks, 3 weeks for each. My surgeon told me 2 weeks for each. I did as I was told. Those, for me, I'll just talk in terms of what I did. Mine was 4 weeks, 2 weeks liquids, 2 weeks mushies. Those 4 weeks are about healing. A lot of people will tell you they're not about weight loss and blah, blah, blah. I lost about 8 or 9 kilos because I was sensible. I didn't take it as free rein to just drink as much shit as I could or to just eat really crap pureed foods, although I did eat quite a few things that I shouldn't have eaten, or drank quite a few things I shouldn't have, only because I wasn't aware of nutrition to the degree that I am now. So, let's start with portion sizes. Now, when you are having your liquid stage, I think I had about 5 liquid meals per day. I started off with juice, and then I had some runny yogurt, half a can of soup, runny custard, and then finished up another half a can of soup. So it was about 5 meals spaced out throughout the day. Plus I had 2 litres of water on top of that. Now, when I say I had juice, runny yogurt, runny custard, that sort of thing, I'm talking about a cup like this, although I used a glass, but like a regular 250 to 300 ml size. It doesn't mean you drink a litre of juice or a carton of custard. That's probably why I did lose weight through those 4 weeks, because I was sensible and I had decent small portion sizes. Now also, with every single meal, get your protein in, because that will keep you full, and it will... Sorry, I'm bunny sitting a bunny and he's just running circles around the lounge room. Get your protein with every meal, because that will help to keep you full and keep you full for longer. And your body needs protein to heal, and you've just had surgery, so you do need that healing. Vitamin C is also good for your skin healing as well. Now let's start with some ideas for liquid meals, because I know a lot of people just get so bored with the liquid stages. I didn't, but I can eat the same thing for weeks on end. Let's start with Optifast. You can continue Optifast if you want to. That's nutritionally complete. Strawberries into it, or raspberries, whatever. You can pretty much add pureed fruit to anything, because it purees down to liquid. You can have anything that you can get through a straw, and it's not a little straw, it's like a big McDonald's thick shake type straw. So if you can get your liquids through that, you're fine to have that. You can also have diet jelly, even though it looks like a solid, because when it goes down into your tummy, it melts down, so that's considered a liquid. You can have juice. If you do have juice, try to find one that is just pure fruit juice without added sugar. I had banana mango juice. It didn't do me any damage, but I certainly wouldn't do that now, only because juice is just so high in sugars. You can make yourself smoothies with any kind of milk you want. There's such a large variety of milk. You've got your regular milk, skinny milk, oat milk, soy milk, coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk, so many milks. Or you could even use coconut water to make your smoothies. Throw any fruit in, because when you blend it, it will blend smooth. You can also, to your smoothies, add things like peanut butter, an egg, a Vita-Brit, a handful of oats, And in particular, protein powder, chocolate protein powder in smoothies is really delicious. But in particular, things like your protein powder, your peanut butter, and your, what's the other thing I said, eggs, they will up the protein, so that will help to keep you full as well. If you add in things like a Vita bread or a handful of oats, that will add a little bit of protein, but also fibre, so more bulk, and it's really, really yummy. You can have runny yogurt. If you just get yourself some regular yogurt, just normal full-fat yogurt, and then if you want some sweetness in it, puree some fruit into it. Just add a bit of milk to it, so that it's like a really thin consistency. That's delicious. You can get yourself custard. If you just get the pouring custard in the supermarket and add some extra milk to it and mix it all up. I had that every day, and that was really yummy. Again, wouldn't do that now because it's full of sugar, and I have tried to make custard from scratch with a lot less sugar, and it just tastes like shit. I'd rather not have custard. Soups. You can either buy your cans of soup from the supermarket and puree them down, add a little bit of extra stock, or depending on what sort of soup it is, a bit of milk or whatever. But don't go for your soups like your tomato soup or your chicken noodle soup or that sort of thing. Get like a really good, like a beef minestrone or a beef and vegetable soup, something that's really high in protein, because when you put that through a blender, that will blend smooth. Just put a little bit of extra liquid into it. Or you can make your own soups. My freezer's full of soups. There's such a wide variety of soups you can make, but whatever you make, put protein in it. So chicken, or you can put salmon in soups. That's really yummy. Beef soups, lamb soups. You just whatever you make, put protein in it. Blend it down smooth, make it a bit runnier than normal. And as I said, there's such a wide variety of all those foods. Like, you can make a million different smoothies, you can make a million different soups, you can add different fruits to your yogurt. There is a lot of variety if you use your imagination. Then, once you're over that stage, you can go on to mushies. My first mushie meal was scrambled eggs, and it was the best scrambled eggs of my entire life. FYI, you can put anything in a blender and it will taste good. I see a lot of people going, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'd like a roast dinner put through a blender. But when you've had Optifast for 2 weeks and then you've had liquids for 2 weeks, trust me, you put anything, spaghetti, bolognese, a casserole, shepherd's pie, anything at all in a blender, and it's going to taste really good. You are really going to enjoy that. You can have mashed or pureed fruits and veggies. So, things like mashed banana, stewed apples, canned fruit is good because that's already pretty mushy. But, mush it up with a fork or, hit it with a stick mixer. With your veggies, steam the living crap out of them, like really, really, really over steam them so that they go really, really mushy. And then of course you can do yourself mashed potato, mashed sweet potato, mashed pumpkin, that's really good. I make a broccoli and cauliflower mash. I just steam up those veggies and then I hit them with a stick mixer with a little bit of butter and ricotta and parmesan, so I'm adding some protein in there. That's really yummy. You can have all sorts of soups, just like a bit thicker. Either hit them with a stick mixer for a bit or just give them a really good mash up so that they're really, really quite mushy. Same with stews and casseroles. And use the, either slow cook them so that the meat is just falling apart. And I don't have a slow cooker, so I just put stuff on my stove for like 2 or 3 hours and it comes out the same. With the beef, I bought chuck steak, and I'll cut off all the obvious fat. But chuck steak, I have found, cooks down to like so tender it's just falling apart. You can have white fish in, I would definitely put it in a sauce, like a white sauce or a Mornay sauce or something. I also made a potato and tuna pie, which is basically just mashed potato with a tin of tuna mixed through it, and some herbs and stuff, and put a bit of cheese on top. That was pretty delicious. You can have thicker yogurts, and thicker custards. And as I said before, you can put fruit through the mash up some banana and put it in, mash up some mango, mash up some, you know, canned peaches or whatever and mix that through. That's really yummy. You can have mashed up baked beans. I make homemade baked beans, but you know, the tinned ones they're fine as well. Oats are really good when you're on mushy stage. They're absolutely fantastic. Just maybe cook them a little bit longer and put in more liquid than you normally would so that they're fairly runny. I had a lot of cereal when I was first banded. I don't eat cereal anymore, other than, you know, like Vitabrits and stuff. But if you want cereal, choose a cereal, number one, that's not full of sugars. So no Cocoa Pops, no corn flakes, no Special K. I know you think that they're really good, but they're not. Even Nutrigrain, that's full of sugar. Buy good cereals like Wheaties, Weet-Bix, Vitabrits. They're good ones. Look on the pack. Make sure there's not too much added sugar or even any added sugar at all. Steer away from any cereals that have seeds, nuts or dried fruit in them. You're going to run into all sorts of problems if you try to have those. And when you have your cereals, put in like heaps of milk, like tons and tons and tons of milk, and then leave it to sit for 10 or 15 minutes so that the cereal absorbs all of the milk and goes really, really, really mushy. When I have my Vitabrits, I just put hot water in them and make it up to a slurry, and I put in a bit of peanut butter as well. That's really, really nice. Mix it a bit of extra protein. Not 100% sure, but I've heard a lot of people saying that you can have Cruscets because they melt in your mouth, so they're not like a real solid. So you could put things like ricotta, cottage cheese, cream cheese on those, avocado, mashed banana, egg. You could mash up some egg and put it on, like mash up some egg, put a bit of mayonnaise, I guess, in it. Or I've done a curried egg using yogurt instead. That works. You can have eggs as well. So, but go for like soft boiled eggs, soft poached eggs, runny scrambled eggs. That's all I can think of for the liquids and the mushies. I'm sure you'll be able to think of other things, but that will, you know, and you know, use those ingredients to make things. Like as I said, I made a potato and tuna pie. I used tuna and I used mashed potato. You could make, you know, like spaghetti bolognese, but don't have the pasta. That's one thing. Steer well clear of bread, rice and pasta and all sorts of pastries until you are well into your solid foods, because those foods are absolutely notorious for getting stuck. Now, another thing I will say, I've read things about people melting down chocolate bars and drinking those and thinking that's okay for liquid stage. I've heard about people eating ice cream because, you know, like jelly melts down and, you know, goes into your stomach. And when I say jelly, I mean diet jelly. Don't melt down chocolate bars. Don't eat ice cream on those stages. If you can't get through those first few weeks without, you know, busting out the sugar, you're going to be in your honeymoon phase for 6 to 12 months. Use that time to lose as much weight as possible and to really break those bad habits. I have also heard a lot of people saying, oh, I'm 2 weeks post-op and I'm just so hungry. Is it alright if I have a sausage or a piece of chicken or whatever? I'll chew it really, really well. No, that is not okay. It is not the same as having mushies. When you get lap banded, you've had surgery on your stomach. You've had a foreign object inserted around your stomach like a vice. Your body needs to heal. Your stomach needs to heal. That's why we have the liquids and then the mushies. It's so that our stomachs don't have to work so hard because it needs to rest. If you do go and have solids before you were supposed to, you're risking your band slipping, either immediately or later on, because when that band is put in there, it needs to heal and it needs to like anchor itself in place by having a little bit of scar tissue growing around it so that it doesn't move around, like it's stitched in there as well. But if you go making your stomach work before all of that is healed, you are really running a risk of your band slipping and having band failure. But it's just not worth it. Now also another thing to think about is if you start going onto solids, I don't care how well you chew that food, You only need to miss chewing a tiny little bit of that food. You could get food stuck in your band. Now and the only way to get stuck food up, at least for me, and I know a lot of other people, is to vomit. Do you want to be having that sort of action going on in your stomach? Do you want your stomach going through those convulsions of vomiting when you've just had surgery and had a lap band put in there? You are really setting yourself up to have a band slip if you vomit, 100%. That's all I can think of for the moment. I really hope this video works. Otherwise, I'm just going to take it as a sign from the lap band gods that I am not supposed to be talking to anyone about liquids and mushy stages. So wish me luck. I'm going to upload it now and see if it'll work. And that's it.